Hey everyone, and I'm really happy to welcome you at our stream. Today we are kicking off AI21 Labs Hackathon, which is called Plug into AI with AI21 Labs. And this hackathon is one of the first hackathons we have on lablab.ai, which is fully beginner friendly. So if you do have some development experience and you are pretty new to AI, but you want to try, you want to see how it works, you want to build your solution with AI, that's the perfect hackathon for this. And my name is Alessia, and I'm happy to welcome you here, and I will be supporting you over your journey at the hackathon as our LabLab mentors together with them. And also, I'm your Twitch advocate for this stream, so feel free to interact with us, write any questions you may have regarding the hackathon in the chat, and I will be more than happy to answer you here over the stream. And also, we have team on my back that will be answering your questions in the stream chat itself. Let me then introduce you basically to the agenda of the hackathon itself, so you will know what you can expect over this stream and over next 10 days of the hackathon. In the beginning, right now, we are having kickoff stream where we will give you the hackathon guide. We will explain you how everything works and which technologies you should use to give you a very good start for building your solution with AI. In 10 minutes, we will have Yotam from AI21 Labs, who will guide us into technology itself, and you will know way more about the capabilities of AI21 Studio and models and which models you can basically use for your project. And especially, it will be really interesting to hear about, I forgot how to say it's endpoints. Yeah, then maybe you can help me. I know that you're on the stream. Which type of
You're
models?
talking you're talking about the endpoints of Jurassic 2 models, which
Yeah,
are the base
correct.
models, and the endpoints of task-specific APIs.
Yeah,
I will
correct. I'm
emphasize
talking.
on them in my slot later.
Okay, I don't want to spoil, but that specific APIs is something that we want to introduce to all the participants on the stream today because it's something that will allow you to really fast start with AI and start implementing a model to into your solutions. So stay updated here. After that, I will have a hackathon guide for newbies to guide you through the platform and Discord itself. So you will know how to complete your profile, how to get your team, how to communicate with mentors. Everything will be there, as well as evaluation criteria and submission process of your application. All the information will be there. If you will have any questions, still you can ask them over this time on the Twitch channel. Then we will have really brief GitHub guide for beginners, for those who are not with no tech background today on the stream. So you will have just a brief guide how you should set up your GitHub account to get started. And after the stream, we will start the information process. And don't forget, the deadline for this submission will be at July 7th at night over time, but still you can check the timelines for your specific time zone on our event page. That would be really useful for you. So you can just go there, find the schedule, and you will see what's the deadline specifically for your time zone. Let's move on, and I'm happy to introduce Matthias to you. Matthias is a co-founder at LabLab.ai and NewNative, and he is here today on the stream to inspire you and also to give you some background what is LabLab and NewNative and what we are doing here in terms of AI innovations. Matthias, welcome to the stage.
Thank you so much. Yeah, overall at NewNative, we are super passionate over artificial intelligence and what is happening in that technology space right now. There is a lot of progress happening, and I would say tech are moving faster than ever before. However, I would also say that this is a great opportunity to really get into it and start your career in artificial intelligence. So there have probably not been a better time for very, very long to actually jump into tech and be able to get pretty fast at the frontier. Because many people, even coming from a traditional background in
Matthias, we can't really hear you for now. You're a bit lagging. Let's wait a bit until you will back. Okay, we do not have probably very well internet here, but that's completely fine. So let's we then move on to the hackathon sim itself. And once Matthias will be back, we will jump on the new native side as well. And I have one really important question to Matthias, which is, can really newbies and people that are not familiar with AI or even coding start and build their solution? That's something that I'm really interested in, and I'm sure that people that are on the stream today, which is like pretty a lot of people for now, as I see on Twitch, you're for sure like really interested in. Before I will move on to the AI21, could you please answer us in the Twitch chat who was familiar with AI21 Labs before knowing about the hackathon, and who maybe already tried it and who are completely new? Let's use numbers, 0 if you're completely new to the technology and 1 if you already tried, and also you can briefly describe what the experience you had. And moving forward, let me just briefly tell you about the what will be happening over this hackathon. So basically, we have a pleasure to build with AI21 Labs model, and this hackathon will be the first one that we have here for specifically for beginners. And more about the technology, we will talk with Yotam. But let me just move on to the some benefits of the AI21, I would say studio, not just labs in general. So first of all, it's a state-of-the-art AI models, which means that their large language models have pretty good potential in terms of the performance, and also your project can really benefit from the usage of the model. So that's something that you need to note before going and build. So they are pretty outstanding from the competitors. And one more thing I need to mention is it's pretty easy to use. So if you are just starting, that's the best model to start, because it's easy to use in terms of the interface, and it's easy to use in terms of implementation to your projects. Once you will be starting building, you will know what I'm talking about. The second thing is they are creators of WordTune. If you are not using it yet, please check it out. It's the app that allows you to rephrase everything you're writing and even adjust some specific styles to make the sentence shorter or wider. So take a look. I'm using it every day in my emailing. Oh, I hear myself, Matthias, in your headphones. Yeah, I see you're with us. Let me just finish regarding the AI21. And also, as far as I know, that AI21 is collaboration with a lot of big companies, helping them implementing their solutions, like implement AI into their infrastructure. And recently we had Monday.com. Yeah. Recently, we had Monday.com AI Hackathon, and I know that AI21 is a great partners of Monday.com, and they are helping Monday.com with AI implementation into their task management system, correct? And we will know more about it pretty soon. Matthias, are you back with us? Should I give back word to you?
Hi. Yes, I am back. I think something crashed. I just didn't notice it myself. I was sitting here having a monologue for a long time, and I was thinking, like, why doesn't Twitch update with me? But then I looked at my other screen and did see I had a freeze there. Yeah, do you want me to talk a little about Native and LabLab?
Yeah, and I had a question to you. Maybe it will be easier for you to back. Can really newbies and people that didn't have any experience in AI and maybe even no coding experience really join the hackathon in 10 days, complete some solution? Because that was the main concern of people that were joining the hackathon. Tell us from your experience what you can, and maybe you have even some advices for people to get started.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say overall is that there have probably never been a better time to jump into tech overall. There is a lot of things happening right now, and when it comes to AI, especially generative AI, there are many other skill sets that also plays in to actually build great applications. So when working with especially large language models, you actually instruct it in using normal language in many cases. So yeah, I would say there is nothing preventing it. It will for sure be a little bit to understand and get into, but I believe that anyone that actually spend the next 10 days working with this and playing around with it will be able to build something. There is so many great tools and frameworks you can use today also that really are lowering the barrier for it.
All right, thanks a lot, Matthias, for this. I guess we can move on then with the introduction into the AI21 Labs at all in general. And Yotam is here with us on the stream. I guess I can give the word to you. I'm really interested to hear about the task-specific APIs, and maybe you already have some advices for people how to get started if you're completely new to AI, because I see a lot of zeros here that people are pretty new to the technology, and also I see that people were building with AI21. But still, let's talk about how to get started if you're new to AI, and tell us about capabilities of AI21 Labs models as well. Welcome to the
So
stage.
thank you very much. So thank you very much for the introduction. There's a you made a great build up about the fact that even newbies, even people who don't have any experience working with large language models and their APIs before can pretty easily do it through our platforms that serves our language models. That's called AA21 Studio. Um, you know what? I think I'll just start by presenting who we are and what the company is all about. Some of the things that we can do. I'll show some examples of AI-driven plugins that can be used for inspiration for projects in this hackathon. And then later we can dive on
Perfect.
a little more on task-specific APIs and the rest of the things that we serve. So I'll
All
just
right.
share my screen.
Before you will move on, and while you're sharing your screen, I just want to remind that I see that we have pretty a lot of people in the stream right now. So guys, that's the perfect time to ask any questions you have about AI21 Labs. So I will be more than happy to address them after your talk or even like during the talk. So feel free to do this right now, and we'll have a pretty great Q&A session. Yeah, I'm checking your screen sharing.
All right. Feel free to stop me at any time if some important
Okay.
question comes up. And either way, I will answer all of the questions
Okay.
after this short presentation. It's not going to be too long. I just want to cover the things that I think that are important. So I think that before we even start, maybe I should introduce myself. My name is Yotam. I'm a developer advocate at AA21 Labs. This means that, I mean, developer advocate means that I'm sort of the guy who you go to when you have questions about the code, how to integrate it into your own application, how to make it work better. It's not just about the code, it's also about how to work with language models, these things that everyone is talking about in the past 2 or 3 years, and more specifically in the past year since ChatGPT went out there and brought attention to language models to all people to people from all over the world. So AI21 Labs is one of the few language models vendors in the world. It means there are only a handful of companies that actually built their own language models that are serving them through API that let you work with them and run um, anywhere from simple to very complicated language processing tasks. And we are serving really state-of-the-art language models, and I'll talk about them now. But I'm Yotam, I'm a developer advocate. Let's talk a little bit about the company. AI21 Labs. So AI21 Labs is the forefront of generative AI transformation. It was founded in Tel Aviv, in Israel, in 2017. Our team right now is made of 200 people and is led by world-renowned AI experts and seasoned entrepreneurs, and is dedicated to creating state-of-the-art large language models. with a funding of already a little bit more than $130 million. We power thousands of NLP-based applications, making us a game changer in the AI industry. I look forward to sharing some exciting things about the journey that we had so far. So, a little bit about the company and the management. Our executive management team is composed of prominent figures in the field of AI, important people who know how to deal with these things. So Professor Amnon Shashua serves as our chairman. Professor Yoav Shoam is a globally recognized AI expert and is a co-CEO and co-founder. Alongside with him, Ori Goshen, a seasoned entrepreneur and a business strategist, serves as a co-CEO and a co-founder. Together, they lead AI21 Labs with a shared vision of enabling the generative AI transformation. Our LLMs, namely Jurassic 2 Lite, Jurassic 2, here they are here, Jurassic 2 Lite, Jurassic 2 Mid, and Jurassic 2 Ultra, are designed to follow natural language instructions, meaning you can give them instructions pretty easily, tell me a story, make some examples of product description, you name it, and you don't need to use any examples. I'll dive in a little after that about what does it mean to give examples to a language models, but for now we'll stay with that. These models offer the ability to handle any language task and are multilingual also, making them versatile for a wide range of applications. AI21 Studio, which is the platform that provides the API, is providing the API access to our best-in-class language models. Our studio enables businesses to harness the power of generative AI in their products. We offer task-specific models like the ones that Alicia mentioned before, which allow you to deploy out-of-the-box NLP solutions in minutes. These APIs are tailored to specific tasks like summarization, paraphrasing, segmentation, question answering, and more, and making the integration of AI into your applications simpler than ever. Additionally, we offer foundation models. These are the Jurassic 2 models I mentioned before, to serve as the base for building your textual AI applications. Our models are designed with flexibility, allowing them to adapt to new tasks without the needing of examples. With AI21 Studio, you can easily customize and fine-tune your own models within a few clicks. AI21 Studio is built with developers in mind. We offer an enterprise-ready API with an uptime and compliance for security. With just one API call, you can start building AI-first experiences free of charge and without needing a credit card. That's another thing too. Moreover, our task-specific APIs are built for effortless integration. From AI co-writers to co-readers like WordTune that was mentioned before, to businesses, insights, and content automation, we have a variety of solutions that can be used across industries and for many use cases. And as many use cases can go from anywhere to any place. And in the last two hackathons, maybe some of you participated in them. You know that the challenge was just build something amazing with the AI21 Studio. So in this hackathon, we decided to focus on a more targeted challenge. Build a plugin to be a plugin that is based on our technology, on the AI21 Studio technology. A plugin can be anything that is used upon an existing platform. For example, a Chrome extension, or a Shopify plugin, or a plugin for Discord, or a plugin for Slack. Any plugin that you can just take and push into an existing platform, just make sure that the power that drives it is one of our models. It can be Jurassic 2 that comes in different sizes, as I mentioned before, Jurassic Lite, Jurassic Mid, and Jurassic 2 Lite, Jurassic 2 Mid, and Jurassic 2 Ultra, or one of our task-specific APIs that can be used for specific tasks. That's why we call them task-specific APIs. You can use them to summarize text. You can use them to paraphrase. I'm sorry, to paraphrase text that you already have. You can use it just for grammatical error correction. If you're not sure that the English that you produced or you're using is perfect, you can just send the text to the API, and it gives you back a response of fixed tasks, of that fixed text. And you can also use our contextual answering API. That's an API that is so easy to use. It takes just two parameters, a piece of text and a question about this task, about the text. And I will show you later how to use it. Um, just to help you wrap around about what these plugins can be, from what industry and for what use cases, I gathered few examples here that I want to share with you. Just gonna be three. I'm gonna make it quick. So the first one is Relevate. Relevate is a project that was created by the winner team of our last hackathon. They actually built a Chrome extension that uses three of our task-specific APIs to. I'll show you actually. I have it here. I'll start the video running. Well, it's just in the meanwhile, but I will tell you what's happening here. What you're seeing here is a plugin that they built for Chrome. That's a Chrome extension. It is used for people who are watching a video. It can be a YouTube video, or they are part of a video conversation on Google Meet, on Zoom, on Amazon Chime, and they're not sure what just happened. They missed a few minutes of the video. They had to leave the meeting for a while, and when they come back, they want to know what happened in the video, what happened in the Zoom call. So when you're using this plugin, it takes the transcription of whatever was talked about in the video or in the conversation, and then it uses our task specific APIs to summarize everything that was said. That's the summarization API. Or also, it can, if it's a long task, if you missed a long part of the video or the conversation, it can summarize everything that you missed and segment it to short segments. That's the segmentation API. Also, you want to ask a question about something you don't understand in the summarization, in the summary that it produced for you. So there it's using the third task specific API called contextual answering. You just write a question and you get an answer. So we really liked this. We really liked the way that they built it, and actually that was our inspiration for this hackathon. So this is the reason that's the first example I'm showing you. Another example, not from our hackathon, just an existing product that is out there. It's called UI Design, and that's a Figma plugin. Designers that are here among us today sure know what Figma is. Figma is a platform for building designs, for websites, for products, for features, and someone built this plugin that's called UI Design that takes natural language and uses some agent, a third-party agent, to turn the text into actual components. You can use our models to do the same thing, but use your imagination and don't do the same thing exactly. Try to think where such a plugin can be used in other places. Maybe for finance, maybe for healthcare, maybe for education, maybe for design, maybe for code writing. You can use the Jurassic 2 language models to process natural language, just like the language that I'm talking right now, and make it understand what it needs to do. And one more example is something that we built here. It's not exactly a plugin, but you can pretty easily understand how you can turn this into a plugin. It's called Silo. And Silo, it's going to take us out to an actual website that we built. Silo represents almost every retail website in the world. You can think of Amazon, you can think of any Shopify store, um, you can think of Nike stores. Any online store usually has their product page. Now think about yourself as a supplier for as a maker of a plugin that can be used for people who run such websites. Usually they have some details about a product, and what they want is to create a text that would sell this product. When I see a product, and let's say that the name of the product is the brand is Nike, and the product is um, let's call it, I don't know, running shorts because they run away. I see Nike running shorts and I see a few details, but that's not enough. As a consumer, I probably want to read some text that would talk to my heart. So imagine that you're building a plugin that takes just the details of the product, just the dry details, the name of the product, and some details about it, and voila, it creates a product description that is more easy to digest. In this case, the Nike Sport Essential shorts are made from soft cotton with a bit of a stretch for a comfortable fit. That's great. This what everything that you saw here. By the way, if I press again, it's going to generate another product description. There you go. The Nike Dry Fit Miller running shorts delivered, blah, 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 blah. This is Jurassic 2 happening behind the scene. And and everything that you see here can be done within a plugin that sits upon retail stores. Another thing that you can do, for example, you can use our question answering API in a plugin to be used in any website. In this case, you can see how it works. I just ask a question. It's a question about things that happen. It's a question about information in this website. For example, I want to know if I can get a free delivery. Can I get a free delivery? I asked the question, and the question answering the contextual answers API is working in the background. It took all the details that you see in this long page, and it dug up the answer. The answer is this, and it's correct. I can also ask something that maybe it shouldn't know. For example, um, Alessia, help me here. Ask a question that probably doesn't appear in a retail website.
Like, can I
Well,
make a return? It will appear.
actually, this will probably appear here. I want to show them what happens if I ask them something that is out of this world. For example,
At all, like why
um,
the grass is green?
why does the that's great. Why is the grass green in Ireland?
Okay.
Something like that. So if I ask this question, I will get the correct answer that the answer is nowhere to be found in the context. So this is something that can be that
Okay.
can be used and can be very useful in many websites and many databases. People want to get real answers on their data. Man, I don't think that I have the time to dive into this, but some of you know that language models have a tendency to hallucinate, to make up answers just because you ask them, like ChatGPT always doing. You can ask something, it will give you the answer regardless of if it's true or not. So the contextual answers API is a one example of getting true content, true answer based on the content of a specific website or application, and this can be easily used within a plugin. So just things to inspire you and open your mind. I think I took a little more time than I should have. So thank you for this time, and I'm still here for questions or anything
And
else.
we do have ones. First of all, that's
Sure.
really great that we focused on plugins because it's something that I see that people can use on their job even. Let's say I'm a marketer and I can create plugin for myself and I can use it tomorrow after the hackathon. That's really great idea. What I could have a lot of questions because they started asking questions. So once I announced it, so hey Yatam, one question: could you please confirm if AI 21 has any embedding capabilities, and what's the context window?
Okay. So this is a question from someone who has some experience, and I like this question. We are not serving our embeddings API, and but there's no problem using any other third-party embeddings API for in this hackathon. It's okay to use third-party APIs, but for all the text for all the language processing um, tasks within your projects, you are required to use Jurassic 2 or the task-specific APIs. Um, I will be very blunt here. This is an AI21 Labs hackathon. I have a lot of respect for our competitors, for Cohere and Anthropic and OpenAI, of course. But for this hackathon, try to use our technology, and I believe that you will get the most optimal results. It's okay to use any other embeddings API for whatever sake you need. I will just but since the question was asked, I can tell that we are in the process of working on our own embeddings API as well. It's still in beta and it's not in production yet, so unfortunately I can't offer you to use it.
We are looking forward to have one more hackathons once it will be out. Okay,
Definitely.
and I can just add on top of that that you also can use other models like Stable Diffusion for image generation or 11 Labs for voice generation, whatever. So you can use any models you want, except of competitive models, because it's the point of the hackathon. If we have 11, AI21 hackathon, let's build with this model. And if you want to try out different models, just feel free to join other hackathons and you can still win prizes because you will be on the rules and in the competition. Let me go with the next question is I'm adapted in Python and recently developed an interest in data science. How long will it take for me to be able to learn and be able to deploy my own models using AI21?
Well, our documentation is very user-friendly. I worked hard on it, and it contains also a lot of examples. Also, I'm referring people to look for AI21 Dev Hub on GitHub. You will find many examples of pretty simple applications that are using our API. This is not rocket science. It's basically just use the right API call, fill in the missing gaps with prompts or just with text. For people who know how to play with code, it doesn't really matter, by the way, if it's Python or JavaScript or any other your favorite language, programming language can be used. It's very easy to start working with it, and I hope it answers the question. And but
Hope
and anyhow, myself and Yuval, my colleague who couldn't join this conversation, and the Lab mentors are here throughout the next 10 days. That's a lot of time and we're here to answer anything and to hold your hand while you're taking your first steps with the A21 studio models.
that's awesome. And I need to say that previously we had 7 days hackathon, so this time you have even more time to build. So you should be fine with completing your project in these 10 days. One last question, and guys, if you have something more, feel free to ask, and then we can redirect it into the Discord. So when creating the plugin, must we create a plugin utilizing all the models, or we can focus on juristic models?
I don't care if your project is focused on even just one model. Where you're not expected to work with all of our models. We are always delighted to see to see a diverse work that sometimes has a pipeline of paraphrasing and then prompt engineering and then question answering. That's always cool to see. But eventually, we want to see projects that are useful, that are innovative, that can actually be used out there. The more production ready you're getting your project is better. If you start to spread your focus on many use cases in one project and just trying to prove that you build something big, then sometimes it will be it will be a trade-off on the quality of the code, on the quality of the project, on how baked it is. We see many half-baked projects being submitted in hackathons, and we want you to focus on building something that you are so proud of that by the end of the hackathon you are ready to just take it and show it to the world, and not just submit it to as a hackathon project. So no, you don't have to use all of our models. You can focus on one, two, three, all of them if you want, if you know what you're doing, but there's no requirement of such.
We had really good advice from our mentors that sometimes people have a huge amount of ideas. They want to try this model and that model. They want to try everything in their project. And the great advice was that it's really good to have clear idea and try something extremely simple, something that can pretty good work, but really simple. And then you can build on top of this while you will be even launching on the market. So try to first work on the idea and then think about the models you can interact for this. One
Yeah.
last question. It was a lie about the last. Now it's the last question. So, can you please tell us a bit about the accesses and like this brief step by step how to get access and how to access to the API by AI21 Labs?
I'm gonna share my screen
Let's do this.
and I'll just show again how to do it because it's so easy. Okay. So let's get back to my screen
Yeah,
here,
sure.
and I'm going to studio.ai
Oh,
dot com.
we do not see. Okay, I got it. Why I don't see it? Yeah, now I do.
You don't see my screen?
I do. Yeah, now that's
Ah,
fine.
okay, great. Okay. So studioai.com. When you're gonna be here for the first time, it will ask you to create your own account. It's pretty easy. Just follow it's everybody knows how to create an account. You just follow you just fill up the form. You don't need to provide any payment details. You just your email, your name, and maybe a few questions about who you are. That's it. Once you're in, first of all, you can read all about the models that we have here. It's very simple and short. We're not using too many words to explain what every API can do. You can read about the foundation models here and about the test specific APIs here. Once you press on one, it will take you to the right place in the documentation to understand exactly how to play with it. So once you're in the documentation, you know what? Before I speak about the documentation, I just want to show the playground. The playground is where you can play with our base models, not with our task-specific API models, but with our Jurassic 2 models. For an example, you can just choose the model that you're playing with. It can be J2 Ultra, that's the biggest one, and ask it to, I don't know, tell me a joke about koalas. I really like koalas. And just press generate. And once you press it, you will see what the model can generate. You can play with you can play with the parameters. You can play with the temperature and the length of the completion. Oh, and some other things that are a little more advanced, but you can read all about them. You can read all about them in the documentation, and that's one place that you can play with it. If you like what you see, you can also use this playground to see how the code should look to use that to take to implement it in your own application. You can see the Python part, you can see it in JavaScript, you can see the curl and just copy it. That's one way to get started. Another way to get started with our models is just to go um, to the AI21 Studio documentation. You can read you can read and play with the you can read about the models and play with them. And if you go to the API reference in the AI21 Studio, you can read about every model and also actually send like use a real API request. For example, tell me I'm doing the same thing here. Right now I'm in the API reference of the Jurassic 2. So I'm choosing to work with mid or light or ultra. I can fill in the parameters. Right now I'm filling in the prompt. Tell me a joke about bananas this time. I can play with all of the parameters and try it. Oh, I need to fill in my API key. I'm just going to bring it for a second. The API key can be found here. Please don't steal mine.
Let me interrupt you. Still, is the question about the token limit?
So anyway, the answer of how to start is just to go to AA21 Studio, play in the playground, play in the documentation. There are so many ways to play with the code, and just take it into your own into your own application, into your own software. We also have a Python SDK for those who work with Python. It's really easy to work with, and also the documentation is easy to understand. Yes.
Yeah, could you please tell us about the token limit here?
The token limits. So the context, the context window for tokens in Jurassic 2 is 8K. So it means a little more than 8,000 tokens that can be generated. And for the task-specific APIs, they have characters limits. It's different for each one. You can read about it in the documentation. And for example, the paraphrase has a 500 500 character limit. The contextual answers I think has a 50,000 character limit. All the details are in the documentation and are easy to understand.
I see that participants are extremely happy with 8,000 token limits. Okay, so they can find this information in the documentation. And there is a question, how many tokens are given to participants? Yeah, tell us about the premium model, maybe, and
Okay.
the access details then.
Okay, so once you sign up for A21 Studio without giving any credit details or anything like that, you are immediately given $90 worth of tokens of API credits. That's a lot. We until now in none of the hackathons, I don't think that any of the teams even reached even closely to that limit. So that should be enough. If for some reason during the hackathon you see that that you are exhausting your freemium $90 $90 that you're getting on sign up, contact us and we'll make sure that you have more to finish up the work on your hackathon. So no worries about that.
Perfect. One more really quick question. The tokens are calculated as combined both prompt and response or just response? It's response, I believe, correct? Yeah.
No, actually combined for the prompt and the
Oh,
response.
really? Okay.
For Jurassic 2.
Mm-hmm.
For and for the task specific APIs, just for what the model is generating.
Okay, perfect. That's completely correct so far, and I see that the documentation is really easy to read. So it's a huge advice for me, for everybody that will participate right after the stream. Go and check out the documentation, so you will be really happy to know how to build with the model, and then you will not have any more questions here. So okay, and yeah, Tom, one last question. Tell us please about your availability during the hackathon. Can we connect with you on our Discord or somewhere else?
So if you will tag me on the I think there's a channel for there's a channel, and if you tag me by my name, then I see it. During the next 10 days, here and there, I will jump in into the LabLab Discord server. Everyone is also welcome to join the AI21 Studio server. It's pretty easy to find. You can spot us there. We are available. Yeah.
Perfect. So, guys, if you still have some questions, feel free to DM Yoram, or maybe better not DM, but tag him in the channel, and you can get an answer. Perfect. Thanks a lot for joining the stream. We take a lot of time, but we answered huge amount of questions. So then we can just move on. Okay, there's a question about username. Let me explain here. We have labs channels, and we have specifically AI21 Labs channel on our Discord, and there you have a tag AI21 Labs, and you can just simply use this tag, and you will tag the mentors that are available over the hackathon. So feel free to do that, and let me move on to the channel to this challenge, and let me move on to talking about the guide of the hackathon itself. Thank you so much, Yoram, for joining us for the stream today.
Thank you very much, and good luck to everyone.
Oh, yeah. That's what we really need during this hackathon. So, guys, let me move on to the challenge itself, and I will tell you what you should do over this hackathon. Then we'll have a guide on how to implement the solution, and briefly guide through the platform, and finally how to submit the solution. It should be fast. If you have any questions, go to the Twitch, and I will be happy to answer them. Okay, so basically the challenge for this hackathon is to build a plugin using AI21 API, which combine Juristic 2 models API and task-specific APIs, which is pretty lucky. So you have even more in your toolkit. So feel free to use them and build your plugins. We don't have any limitations on the theme of the plugin or on specific use cases. You can go as wide as you want, and you can make it even maybe useful for your own job in your daily work. So feel free to be as creative as possible and build your solution on top of AI21 model, which is really important that you have to use as a core only AI21 API. You cannot even use any other competitive models like Cohere, Anthropic, or OpenAI models. So make sure that you don't have any competitive models in your toolkit. And in addition, you are able to use models that are not competitive. Some of them are for image generation, some of them are for, let's say, voice generation, anything else that you can imagine, you can use for the hackathon as long as it's not competitive. Um, Beginner-friendly tutorials that we have on our page will help you to get started, and even can be the reference for you how to build your application. So here are some of them. Feel free to join to our LabLab tech page to discover more about AI21 Labs and their APIs in general. And also there you can find the links for the tutorials that can help you to get started. These tutorials are completely beginner-friendly and are really detailed, so you can easily get started even with no experience in AI. Let me move on to the demo platform. So we had a questions in the chat how you will submit, so how you will host your solution. First of all, this solution is you are the owner of the code, so you will host it on your GitHub. And this GitHub can be private or public, depends on your needs and your desires. In case it's private, we will ask you to give the access to AI21 judges for them to check out the code. Also, you need to provide for us a demo so we can go and easily play with your solution. Here's two platforms we can recommend for demo, which is Streamlit or Replit. Check out them, and you can easily just use them to host your solution. They are free and they are easy to use, so that's something we can recommend. Why do we need a demo? Because we want to check out how your platform works straight away once we'll have a judging process. Let me just double check. Do we have any questions? Okay, so far not. Let's move on. Let's move on with Discord and platform guide. In case you're still active in the chat, please write us numbers. Let's go with 1 if you already participated in the hackathons before, so you are aware how our platform and Discord works, and 0 if you are completely new. So I will see how relevant for you is this section. The question is about the Hugging Face space can be used. Yeah, sure, of course. Just make sure that it will not cost you a lot. It is available to host your solution. Okay, I see 0. So 1, you are experienced a bit with our platform. Let's wait for more. 0. Okay, I see that it's still relevant. I will try to make it as fast as possible since you will have this stream recorded, so you can come back here anytime. And also, we have an amazing video on our YouTube channel where you have the same guide through the platform, and you can see how everything basically works anytime. Daniel, can I ask you? Daniel is today on the Twitch chat, so can I ask you please to share the video about the platform guide in the Twitch channel? Thank you so much. So let's move on with the guide. First of all, how the whole process will look like. So step number 0, you'll pick the hackathon you want to go with. Then you will create or join your team. I will show you how to do this in the further steps. Let's just have a brief overview. Then you can meet your team on Discord or any communication channel you can pick. Then with your team, you will have a brainstorming session where you will come up with 2, 3, even 1 brilliant concept. And you can go and talk to mentors to get a final okay go. This talk is not obligatory, but it's something that can help you a lot to focus on really great solution and maybe already avoid some minor mistakes that you can have in the beginning. And also mentors can help you with some tech implementation. So better for you to use this step as much as possible to make sure you will avoid any additional and extra steps that can be missed due to help of our mentors. After that, you have a huge stage, which is the building of the prototype itself and communication with your team and how the planning and building process. And then on the last step, you have to submit your solution in 10 days after the stream. Let's move on to whole process in details. So first of all, once you join on the platform, please make sure to fill out your profile. We really require to have your social media or any portfolio you have and brief description about your previous experience. It will help a lot people that are looking for a team and going to have you as a potential member of their team information about you, so they will know your experience and do you match their team or not. So please make sure to spend a few minutes to link your portfolio, link your, if you're a developer, GitHub account. If you're not, it can be LinkedIn, can be Behance, whatever you use, so people can know who are you and can you be the part of their team or not. Make sure to put your location. Also, link any information about you that you want, and also, which is extremely important, to link your Discord. That will help us a lot to communicate with you. Let's say you are the finalists of the hackathon and we need the way to communicate with you. So Discord is the best one. Make sure to link it. Let's move on. Create or join your team. For the hackathon, you can work in a team from 1, which means solo team, to 6 members. For this, you can create your own team or join an existing one. To create your own team, you need to go to the dashboard. On the dashboard, you will see the button to create your team. Fill out the information, describe the idea, and start looking for members there. Let's move on in case you want to join the team. Under the button to create your team, you will see the list of all the teams that were created for this specific hackathon. And there you will find a team with the label of looking for members, the red one. And to this team, you can just easily go and join the team using the button, or you can write in the chat to first chatting with members and ask about their expectations and do you fit each other. After you pick your team or you found your team members, and since you have more than 2 team members in your team, you will have a button to create your Discord team channel, which is extremely important in terms of communication with mentors. Because if mentors want some information from you or they want to help you with your concept and you want to have a private channel to talk to them, the Discord team channel is the best option. After you will click this button, you will get a voice channel for your team, and in this voice channel, you will have a chat where you can chat, share links, discuss everything, tech mentors, everything else that you will need there. Make sure you have this channel so we can easily communicate with you. I'm checking the questions. Okay. Yeah, people recommend to check out the YouTube. Completely recommend. There are a lot of tutorials on LabLab, even on AI21 like models. There are a lot of tutorials and also a lot of things that helps you figure out coding and how to get started with LabLab platform itself. Okay. Uh-huh. Yeah, we do have a hackathon guide, which I will ask Daniel to share as well. So there are all useful links you need to have to complete this hackathon. This link will be shared with you right after the stream via email, so no worries, but we will double it here in the chat. Let's move on to the next stage, which is communication with mentors. So here we have two ways. First way is basically to use calling for help button on your team page. On your team page, you have this like buttons window, and there you can use this, and we will see that your team needs help, and we will jump on in your Discord voice channel. So in case you're calling for help, please make sure that you do have Discord channel. If you don't have, the communication will be really hard for us. So in this case, better to use Tech Mentor. Tech Mentor you can use on your own team channel. You can use on our hackathon related channel. There you can describe your issue and just tech mentor. So we will pick the best person for you to help, whether it's technical mentor, business mentor, or organizer of the hackathon. Let's just get back to the guide. So we just complete the creation of the team process and we figure out how to meet the team on Discord and then how to communicate with mentors. Then let's move on to the submission process. First of all, to submit your product, you need to provide for us some information about this. And here is some core things that we recommend you to work on the first and to put the most effort on the things. First of all, as what have you built? You need to explain to us the core idea of your product. What was the problem and why did you come up with this specific solution? And after that, to show us the demo of your product. So it's a demo of your prototype. As I mentioned earlier, you can use some demo platforms where you can host the demo. Basically, on this point, we need to check out your product as a users. Make sure to give us a great experience there. Then the process of building the prototype and also the technologies you have used, that's something that it's really necessary to include in the presentation so we easily can see how complex is your solution. And then the business plan, it's good to have. In case you don't have any, it will be hard for us to imagine how you're going to go further with the project. In case you have some time, and you will have in this 10 days for sure, think about your users, who can be these people, how they will use your product and how you can monetize it. Because have a hackathon project that's cool, but even cooler if you can launch this into the market and already start making money on the project. Let's move on. What I have to note here that please make sure that your video presentation is no longer than 5 minutes. That's enough time to showcase your structure, your solution, and showcase the quick demo of the project. So make sure that you're cutting all the pauses, cutting everything that's like silent moments. So we will see only the core of your project there. That's basically it. Make sure to make it as a great pitch, and judges will be really happy to review it. Evaluation criteria. To evaluate your project, we'll use 4 main criteria which judges have on the platform. Since your project is listed on the platform, they have ability to go there and leave their feedback directly into your submission. So you will see all the feedbacks from the mentors directly there. So we have 4 criteria to evaluate your project. First of all, as application of the technology. So which step you have used and how well you implement this. Then it's a business value. is this project really have any value for potential users? Can you somehow launch it to the market and gain some users? Can you monetize this project? That's something that that we will take into account rating your project. Then the presentation skills of your, was the presentation too long? Was it clear enough? Did you have all the necessary points included there? That's something that we will check there. Then the originality. Did you copy paste your idea? Is it original enough to be able to win the competition on the market? This thing will count on this stage, checking the originality. Let's move on. And the most exciting part here is the prizes, because AI21 cared a lot about the people that wants to build after the hackathon their solutions. So winners will get a huge amount of API credits, which allows you to, right after the hackathon, continue building your solution and have resources to make it real and to make it launched to the market. And also AI21 for sure will provide you support for sure with advices and some maybe advices on the tech solution itself once you will decide to go further with your product. So winner of this hackathon will get 5,000 API credits and also 2,000 in cash for developing their solution. And also the finalists that we will pick. So the best solution usually is like 2, 3, 4 projects will get 4,500 API credits divided by them and also 1,500 in cash that will be distributed among the finalist teams. And additionally, this winning project will be promoted over our channels, and we will also allow you to have a spot in our accelerator right after the hackathon. LabLab.ai have an accelerator for early stage startups, which called Slingshot. So you as a hackathon participant will be able to have a spot in this accelerator right after the hackathon once you won the hackathon. And on this acceleration spot, you will have huge amount of credits already assigned to you that you can use for developing your solution. Also mentors that can help you anytime with your product, which is completely useful if you really want to go to the market. Okay, let's move on to the next slide, and it's the announcement of the guide for hackathon participants with non-technical backgrounds, how to create your GitHub account, how to get started with coding if you are completely non-technical person. And before we move on here, let me just briefly go back to the chat and see maybe we had any questions. Okay. Here is the how about monetizing the plugins. Yeah, for sure you can do this. You can do it as a separate product, and people can I don't know, have a subscription model, pay for usage. It can be plugin for some specific products. Maybe it can, let's say, Google Drive plugin, Google Docs plugin. So people that are users of this product can pay you for make their experience just easy and more smooth. So think about how you can be useful with your idea, and also think about what problems you usually face on your daily basis. And maybe with this solution, with AI21 model, you can help you solve your own problems, and then you can even monetize it. So it's something that can be really, really well monetized if you thought a lot about your potential users' problems. Okay. Will we have swag for this hackathon? No, we don't offer swag for this hackathon from Labo.ai side, but we will have swag for different hackathons. So just check out the prizes sections. It really varies on the hackathon and on the availability on the swag on our pockets. Okay, no more questions? I hope everything was clear. So anyway, you can access to this presentation after the stream, so there shouldn't be any problems here. So let me then announce the Fabian's presentation, and I will invite Fabian to the stage, and he will show you a brief guide how to use GitHub for your solutions. Let's check it out, and I will come back to you in 5 minutes.
Hello and welcome everyone. In this tutorial I will show you how to use GitHub for your hackathon project. So let's get started. First, head over to github.com and create a new account with the sign up button right here. I've already done this, so after you completed the sign up, you will come to this site. And this is basically the GitHub main page. And right here, to create a new repository, you can go to the top left to this plus icon right here and click new repository. Next, you need to select an owner. Just select yourself in this case. Then you can give your repository a name. So for now, I will just go with Hackathon Test Project. You can give a small description to your project. You can decide whether you want your repository to be public, so visible to everyone, or private. Private means that it's just visible to you and collaborators you add. You can add a README file, so tell people what your repository actually is. You can add a git ignore file to ignore files that should not be uploaded to our version control. I will go over these a little bit later, so for now we will just click create a repository. And as a next step, I want to show you how you can actually add collaborators to your project, because most of the time you will be working in a small team. So you can just go over to the settings, then on the left side collaborators, and then down here just add people. Then you can enter a username, full name or email. For now I will just take someone from the lab development team. So I will click him and add him to the repository. We can see right here that the invite is pending, so he will receive an email and also a GitHub notification that he got invited to this repository. Okay, so next let's look at git ignore files. I've created here on the right side a small sample project with just one Python file and one env file. So this right here is an example for an API key that you don't want to be publicly available on GitHub in your repository. So let's exclude this env file from our version control. To do this, we will create a new file that's called gitignore. And in this gitignore file, we can just type in the name of the file we don't want to be uploaded to GitHub. So in this file, it's .env. And to actually confirm that this will not upload to GitHub, we will use the command git init to create a new Git repository locally on our machine. And right here we can see that these two files now got added to our repository, so it's just main.py and the gitignore file, but not our .env file. So let's upload this to GitHub. We can use these commands right here to actually upload it a little bit faster. So first we will add all our files and we will create our first commit, switch on the main branch, add the remote origin, and then push all files to our remote repository. Let's refresh our GitHub right here. And now you can see that we have both of these files right here, and our .env file is excluded from our Git repository. Okay, so next let's look at how to actually host your project so people can see it all around the world. So right here we have three different platforms. Vercel, this is great for all kinds of web applications, mostly JavaScript, but also Python. You can just click here Start Deploying, connect your GitHub, and then after it's connected, you can just select your repository right here. And most of the time it's actually a zero config deployment, so you can just hit deploy and everything will work out of the box. So that's great for JavaScript and Python web projects. Then next is Replit. On Replit you can basically host any code in any language and you can run it in the browser, so it's super useful. And the last thing is Streamlit. Streamlit is great for Python applications. You have some really good components you can use to actually create a web application really fast and easy. I hope this small guide was very helpful for you. You can also find this in written form on our Lab AI tutorial page. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Fabian, for telling us about how to set up Discord account. I hope that for new people here, that was really, really useful. Well, we had a question in the chat regarding the acceleration program, so let me elaborate on this, and then I can move on to the finalizing the stream and to announce the next steps. So we do have a Slingshot acceleration program, which is aimed to help early stage startups to launch their product into the market after the hackathon. So since you do have a product from hackathon, some demo of your product, you can go to the Slingshot and in the 5-week program, you can launch your solution already into the market. So this will be the process where our mentors will help you to grow, to complete the next steps, to define what you need to develop after the hackathon next, and already have a project that is launched. And after that, continue with more advanced acceleration program after this one. So it's something that will be really useful for those who have a great idea in mind and they want to try, will they be able to make a startup out of it or not? So that's something that's really worth to make a try that I can advise here. If you will have any extra questions for this, I can contact you with people from the Slingshot program so they can tell you more. And also for now, I can ask Danielle to share in the chat the link for Slingshot program on next week's website. Could you please share it with people? There you can find just more information on the program itself and how to apply having your demo of your product. Okay, finalizing the stream now. I want to say thanks to everybody to be on the stream during all time. I saw that almost nobody jumped off, so that's a great sign that you are highly interested and you will be building over this hackathon. So guys, just for you to know, we are having a Discord channel called AI21 Labs Hackathon. There you can ask all the questions you may have. We have the same channel for looking for team members. There you can go right now and start looking for team members, start promoting your team idea to find the team members, asking people do they have some free spots in their teams. Do that. And also we have mentors, so you can usually tag mentors there. And please let's just agree that we will not write any direct messages. Let's use only Discord communication in the chat. They will help us a lot to ease the communication because usually when people are writing us direct messages, we can lose them among other directs that we are getting. So please, for you better to write in the chat, and there we can easily start communication with you and even assign right mentors to help you with your questions. Let's agree on this. And after that, I can just say you good luck and let's have fun over this 10 days hacking. We are here for you and feel free to reach us out for any questions you may have. That's it. We are looking forward to see your impressive solutions over this hackathon. Take care and see you on Discord.